On that T side, they get to set the pace. We've seen them put, I guess, those key players. Mezzy, such an aggressive player. As I said, he's been playing off a leash. Brolin, bit of a superstar in the making. And, oh, here we go. Already control over Banana there. Are they going to check for tabseN though?
They may. Slow and methodical, but it's going to be tabseN peeking out. However, unable to connect. And fnatic, the grouped up approach is looking pretty good. tabseN, last point of contact here over towards B. There's no util for the rest of Big to play with. And tabseN needs to go huge. Oh, headshot. Not going to be found as the body spam through onto Mezzy, but Smooya close to trade. And with a 2-man advantage, this is one of those rounds where you say it's not losable. But gade and tabseN, let's see what they're going to be able to do. Not too much. KRIMZ finds tabseN lurking in the smoke there. And it's gade in a 1-on-4, but not for bloody long. KRIMZ feeling it already. Coming out of the gates with a big old 3K. And fnatic take that T-pistol.
Strong statement from fnatic to kick things off on Inferno. Here's their map pick, and they're already off to a banger with this T-side aggression. This is the fnatic we saw yesterday. It was super aggressive. Ents really did put up some resistance, but it was only a matter of time before they fell to this high level of aggression that we're seeing out of fnatic. It's also on the back of them playing quite confidently too. Important for them to continue that confidence here as we see the run boost with the scout as tabseN does cop some grenade damage though. And banana control is being exacted by fnatic early on.
Now, with this control, they're just going to leave Brolin here for a moment. However, tabseN has that flash in hand and gade. He's thinking about maybe going forward, looking to show some form of presence. But fnatic, of course, just slowing things up, showing some respect and expecting some form of re-aggression from Big. tabseN. It's just so slow. So slow and thought out from fnatic. Now, they've given Banana. They're looking to go for a bit of a retake at bracket. This is the perfect time for Big to flash gade in and try to find some form of info.
It's going to be an explosive hit from fnatic right now. They're just grouped up. They know that Big aren't necessarily going to have a whole heap of utility to repel them. So they're just going to try that grouped approach, particularly with that wrap onto the A bomb site now as Alex. He's just looking to make things happen. However, tabseN appears from the smoke. He's going to make that scout sing. But it's the firefights that go the way of fnatic as the bomb plant will come through. I don't suspect here that gade and tabseN will have the firepower to make the retake work. They may look for exits.
Well, a well-wrangled round. And tabseN not going to be touching this site with a 10-foot pole. As mentioned, exits will be the call. You still got that armor to play with into the next and a good amount of util to try to set some USPs up. But from here, fnatic, 3 alive. You know, that's pretty all right. AK going to be retrieved as well by Brolin on the exit. And, ooh, tabseN going to be spotted there. But the bomb, of course, planted at the back of sight, so everyone A-okay just to survive here in the pit. It's only that 5-7, smoke and a flash on gade, carried across for Big into the next. But that's a solid start for fnatic and the economy. It's going to look relatively decent after the purchase.
It's just a question of whether or not the carrot is big enough for Big to try and buy into this again, but they're just going to keep it nice and reserved. Some utility on tabseN and what they retained from the last round. So, seeing whether or not they could make this work. That B stack is going to come through. This is a gamble I like from Big. Early utility down, trying to just get that chip damage away as fnatic do progress up toward Banana. But are they going to fall into this trap?
That's the question. At least it's Smooya just with no util in the Mac 10. Looking to be sent in first. Boost over the top. Seeing if there's any CTs looking to play close to this smoke. Another refreshed one coming through. Brolin. He could definitely have a field day if he does run in to this stack. Flash from the CTs, but no re-aggression. And fnatic Looking to go on an adventure up mid instead. Should be able to find A completely open now. And this could force something out from Big. There's no real reason to save anything other than that armor on Gade into the next round. So we'll see what they opt to do here.
Just fnatic running their protocols, right? Like they set Brolan up as that splinter cell. Ooh, the temptation is for that wrap B, so this might not be over just yet. However, I think they're just going to stumble onto this A-bomb site. Send the SMGs in first. Do all the investigating. Here's his Brolan activated too. He needs to go find info at B. And so that clears things out for fnatic. They get it bombed down at A. So nice anti-eco protocols, just getting themselves up the middle of the map and sending the SMGs in for that information. Risk mitigation at its finest.
And Big, not going to be too overzealous here with the pistols. Of course, you don't want to be giving away too many $600 kills. And they're going to be able to fight for their right to survive. Pick themselves up a MAC-10. Maybe even that gun deep in CT. Keto, ooh, firing up with the Deagle. And it is, of course, just some exit kills coming through. That being said, goes to show Big are here to play. fnatic, though, locking down a third round. Nice and early on. KRIMZ wants to keep his mitts on the AK here. Gade. I think he can maybe find this one at the end. Oh, nah. Opts to save his armor instead. Keto falling, and things going well for fnatic to start off the series.
Well, you've got to respect these pistols from Big, right? They have just knocked these players from fnatic who are trying to push, trying to make those... Oh, Messi's just been obliterated. But they're just trying to knock what they can out of the economy of Big, and also just trying to make the most out of those SMGs while they retain them. So full gun round coming out, and CSGO on that AWP for Big. So not going to take the plunge in mid, though. Smooth is ready for it. So both run their protocols again. Not so much a battle for territory in Banana. They're just going to let that single smoke sit for Big. However, contact from KRIMZ might be essential here toward the top of brackets. He's just clearing out apartment control. A lot of information does come with that too. So Big, they've got this setup here, looking to obliterate whoever decides to come out of boiler. They've got that hot plant set up too. It's rolling.
He's going to start to take some contact over towards the B site, front site smoke up as well. As mentioned, this triple dig setup. How long are Big going to invest their time here? Looks like they're going to start to try to go a little bit more aggressive, try to set CSGO up for a pick at mid, but that's just info gained. Bomb still needs to make its way up T-stairs, and Gade playing close to the smoke now. Might be able to find a timing as it starts to fade. Flash across, and the reposition as well. Big, they know that it's probably going to be this B hit, so you can see that adjustment. CSGO coming across with that AWP as well. And a perfectly timed smoke. fnatic, they're going to have to go right through. In comes that flash as Brolan goes straight into the CT. It's going to be 1-for-1 for the moment. The boost over the top going to be able to stop Alex from making his way to sight. However, Smooya jumping in with the AWP just in time. Gade jumping around. He's going to fall as well with Brolan wrapping in from Cont. And in the 2-on-2, fnatic have the sight and another kill as well as the man advantage.
KRIMZ just over the top of that smoke, leaving Keto to try and salvage this for Big. He's going to arrive here with just an HE to his name. Has to collect a kit on the way through if there's one available to him. So he's got to just try and find the timing here to split the pair.
Is he going to be able to make it in? Clearing the back of sight. Allowed to do this as Brolan just hides, looks to wait for that tap nade to the perfect position. But Keto not aware of how close he was to peek and Brolan there. KRIMZ able to stop him from making his way back to the bomb, and a well-maneuvered round from fnatic after Big seemed to have, you know, all the ideas, knew exactly what fnatic was doing, where they were going, but they just couldn't make it happen because Brolan, too aggressive in through CT, got that initial pick wrapped through, came in from behind enemy lines, and it was a well-navigated round.
Gade does well to get to there, but that mouse wheel jump, I think, kind of affected him at the worst possible moment. And just backward pistols now for Big, so just a momentary reset. They do have quite a bit of utility too, so
yeah,
this could be dangerous for fnatic if they do fall into the traps here that are going to be set, and they're just going to be peppered. That long distance carpet bombing run of grenades doesn't really do too much. Alex cops the brunt of it, but this is fnatic again, grouping up towards top mid, grouping up towards top banana. They're just pushing Big back into these bomb sites and just hoping for that grouped approach, particularly on these anti-ecos. They run good protocols. They're very solid in these sorts of rounds. And that's exactly the kind of approach that you need to take into account. When you want to beat a team like Big, you have to be tactically sound.
Well, as you can see there, Smooya has that 5-head cranking for the game as well in the player camps. You always love to see it. And with the minute mark being hit, Big committing to this 4-man stack, but Kido flirting with death here. But again, it's just going to be patience. And who bites first? It's going to be tabseN, and Kido swinging off the contact. This is a well-made setup. But how can fnatic make their way back in? It's tabseN reading the peak. And again, just so damn sharp with these pistols on Inferno. The close range engagements still going to be able to cause awkward situations as we are currently witnessing. And KRIMZ, just going around the smoke. There's 17 on the clock, Jim. And the bomb on the other side of the smoke rolling, going to be flashed forward. Can't do too much. KRIMZ, full reliance on him, but he's got to leg his way to sight now. And Gade, he's standing in the way. But is there time to get this bomb planted? KRIMZ, there he goes. Well played round from Big on the pistols to win the eco. fnatic just didn't see that 4-man bracket setup coming.
Oh, they just got lost in the weeds, didn't they, Mac? They were just desperate to try and recover that bomb. Big just putting numbers essentially in the smoke, and that just wasted so much time for fnatic. That investment of utility really did slow their progression, and it was just capitulation of the top site here, right? tabseN finds one with that deagle, and all of a sudden, fnatic have that player disadvantage. They've still got to dismantle Crossfire, and that's disastrous. From a team that were looking so solid in their protocols, they fall to a simple Crossfire at mid, so that is probably not the kind of round that you want. Just as I was giving them big ups too for their protocols on anti-ecos, they go and pull a banger like that. Well, I don't know, maybe returning to their UKCS roots.
It's going to be one of these rounds, though. An extremely critical one for both teams to get the dub on. Early 3-man stack from Big here at B, and a whole lot of util used. Roland, not going to be able to survive that molly. tabseN coming in clutch. And that's the man advantage. fnatic, can they work their way out of the man disadvantage? Looks like they're just hoping that Big over-aggress somewhere, but with that banana control, with the man advantage, I thought they would fall back. tabseN was trying to do so, but it's Gade standing in the way of fnatic. It's a nice trade, and this could be the answer that fnatic were looking for.
Well, KRIMZ just trying to appear at the worst possible moment for Big. He does try and harass the A site. However, there we go. He does eliminate Kido on the flank. So it's a 3 versus 2. And this is where Big are just going to try and take their chances here. It's a 2 versus 2 in the bomb site. Make that now just a 2 versus 2 overall. Smooya, he's playing the back of the site. He's going to be able to take tabseN, who just goes straight for that defuse. And CSGO, I don't know, the information must have come through from Big that they were playing double banana. Hence, they didn't check the site at all. So fnatic, they secure themselves around. That was a bit better from them. A bit faster too. And they really do play with Big right now. Gade's got a heap of cash. The lost bonus coming out from Big should be enough. They might be able to get a decent buy here with that AWP saved over from Gade. They've just got some shuffling to do. Gade is going to be the bank of Big.
Look, I feel like KRIMZ is coming into this with a lot of confidence. You don't just swing into CT knowing that there's an open hands of CSGO. Either way, it is going to be 5 secured for fnatic, off to a very strong start here on their T side. That being said, if we want to have a quick discussion on, CT side, T-sided maps, Inferno, over the last couple of months, or last month or so, seems to be the only map that is still T-sided. So we'll see how it goes in the second half. But for now, Big, you'd want to see them really start to grab a couple of rounds, or they could be in trouble going into the second half.
Well, that's the thing too, right? With this big roster, you would expect them to maybe suffer a little bit when it comes to that more structured CS. That's something they've been working on.
Yeah.
But what they definitely do have is that individual firepower, players that do like to make individual plays, as they said in the interview. And it's just about trying to just harness that in the early round. And when it comes to broken play, that's when these individuals really do shine.
Let's see if Big can manage to crank another. Got this A1S bought up. And a little bit of extra cash in the bank. And They're looking to position these two rifles for success, but Brolin going hard early in through apartments. And CSGO, oh, he's got this pincer coming through, but he's going to be able to fight for at the moment. Can't quite find that second. Alex taking his head right off, and it's going to be the 3-on-2.
Oh. Okay. This just gets really messy right now for both of these two teams. Bomb plant will come in. And smartly, Big are just going to regroup on this retake. They've got the better weaponry. There's some utility here from fnatic to be able to just slow the progression of the retake. However, those firefights are not going to go the way they want them to. KRIMZ just stepping into the path of both these two CTs. And now, Mezzi tries to take that duel. And that is a round gone begging here for fnatic. They should have definitely done better. They do have a faster approach. But in rounds like that, it really does sting them.
The big one for Big, as they managed to snag a second, just as we were talking about, before it got too late. So only bringing those two rifles into the round, having the economy at 2k after buy-in, and not having a whole lot of utility, that is a huge one for them to secure, because fnatic's economy now going to be in question again. With that bomb plant, I didn't see it. If there is going to be enough for them to buy up again, just try to keep the economy of Big as low as possible. Looks like, ooh, you'd be risking it. It's at least a half buy for some of them. We'll see if Smooya decides to save for the AWP as well.
You're not too interested in the biscuit of the AWP. KRIMZ on that Mac 10, so hopefully they're trying to catch out tzyN. He's the only player there that doesn't have that armor. But I mean, look for that faster approach again. Just trying to get people into position, that create that push and pull effect. If they can just take away control of Banana from Big, that's essentially going to help fnatic here. However, so these early exchanges of grenades, Molotov smokes going down. Big, oh, CSGO. Smooya's got some time to think about that. He will play no further part in the round.
It's another one of these really awkward mid-rounds for fnatic. They're trying to figure out what they need to do to try to get back in. Util going to be shuffled across now as Gade looks to stack A potentially, or just get boosted up. There it is. So he's going to go up the Fallen. Obviously, you can't use your util here, so that's why you hand it to your teammate, allowing tabseN just to have as much extra help in his pocket. Keto just playing anti here up on the balcony, but tzyN taking the line and sliding a few nice shots onto Alex. Untradeable as well, because no one else from fnatic was near him.
Oh, that chip damage from grenades. Doing a whole heap of damage to fnatic now. Going to play the percentages, though. Take the small site with the 3 remaining players that they do have. Smoke will come in. Flashes, though, are good from Big. Just enough to delay the rotation. That smoke is good. Oh, tabseN.
Man, is tapping heads at the moment. And this is where it gets dangerous for fnatic. If he starts to fire up, however, Mezzi, he's alive and kicking, and he's very leaned into the screen. He's not going to be missing too many. Another headshot found, but only 2 seconds to try to survive. And man's got another CT in his way. It's tzyN at the bottom of mid to lock a third down for Big, and look to bring them back into the game here.
Absolutely necessary now for fnatic to go back to the drawing board with what their approach is. CSGO just opening things up ever so nicely. That AWP. And just his individual duels that fnatic are now trying to take are not going in their favour. You're right, activating tabseN is a dangerous prospect for fnatic. He's one of those players that just has that firepower potential always in every round. Well, just some pistols to try and see what fnatic can take out of the economy of Big. They certainly haven't got themselves settled either with their own money. So,
Yeah,
real upset potential here for future rounds if they do manage to thin the herd somewhat.
Big happy to play some nice deep angles over towards A, but it's B where the action begins. Brolin going to be taken out of the equation early. And fnatic gifted, a lot of control with apartments and brackets. They still need to get past this deadly setup on site. I believe CSGO's just playing a nasty line there. Over towards Broken Wall. And he's not going to miss those either. Smoke towards apartments just to help out Keto up on the balcony. Bink comes through, but Keto saves him. And it's the util to buy some more time for this info. However, Keto's just going to be swinging. Happily eating up a couple of those eco frags. Dig in hand. And Alex feeling it at the moment. But he's got a whole lot of big plays to get past. Big are going to start to make their way in through the bottom of mid. Clearing. And securing a lot of map control. Bombs down here as well. And Gade happy just to swing off of CSGO's contact. But peeks out nicely. And it's going to be 4 on the board. A well-navigated anti-eco round for Big to be just 1 round away from tying up map number 1 here.
Yeah, it's only going to be Mezzy that's affected with his money heading into this round. Unfortunate as it was for him to cop the L after the timer expired. So, fnatic, I mean, it's still a good half for them at this stage of the game. However, they want to try and maximize themselves on this T side.
Yeah.
Economy's not fantastic for tabseN and Keto, so they've just reduced their loss bonus a whole heap. He has no idea that KRIMZ has just got himself into apartments once again, so it's a good start for fnatic. They're able to get themselves now just some push and pull effect. You can see they're starting to pull players off that B bomb site. This early B presence from Big is going to have to be broken if they want to maintain control. Hey, that's great utility usage once again.
That was actually insane timing. And I'm pretty sure Mezzy put him up there with the silent boost as well. So fnatic doing everything right to get this man advantage. But from here, where do they go? It looks like with banana control, they're happy to go back, retake bracket. Just running things back as expected. But Big, you got tabseN solo looking over towards Arch. And, he's able to find one, but no support there from Keto. A little too far away. And Keto, after losing Archers, needs to try to push for some form of map control to set up for the retake and have a chance in the round. Playing close dig. And it all boils down to the timing of KRIMZ pushing out of apartments. But the bomb has made its way in through Speedway and into where Big have some heavy presence.
Okay. This could go pear-shaped for them pretty quickly. That's a key frag. They still need to check construction on Smooth. No, he's not having the impact he wants. Gade's still alive now too, so this is really awkward here for fnatic. As they do not have control of this B bomb site, they will still have to try and commit to some form of plant soon. Oh no, there's a lot of work to do here for Mezzy in this site. He's just going to be harassed the entire time, and KRIMZ, he's got to arrive in the nick of time. 1 second left, he's not going to find it. Dear me, that is a round too big. And not in the nick of time. That was so awkward.
He just put his head down and prayed to Gaben that there was not enough time remaining for him to go. He didn't know where he wanted to go. Around half wall would have been safer, but at that point, there's so much pressure. It just forces some crazy decisions. And KRIMZ just hoping that he was there before the plywood. But the round won by Big regardless. It was a huge one for them to win, considering the man advantage was there. fnatic were making all the right moves, but then they just ran into the two-man setup on B. Gade as well, surviving for just long enough there to stop that bomb from going down. fnatic robbed.
Well, if there's any positives to take out of that round, it's the fact that they did manage to take all 5 big players out of the equation. So that might have a future effect. Oh, the timing.
Again.
Well, this round it works out for KRIMZ. Last time, not to be the case. But he does manage to pass that on to Mezzy. So now, starting to take rifles out of Big's economy here. And it's that hero play coming out from KRIMZ as he saved out his AK last round. So they're going to be looking to him to continue to try and make impact. And keep this in mind, every gun they take out of the economy of Big at this stage of the game too is going to be super beneficial for them in future rounds. So now, Big have taken quite a big risk, funnily enough. They don't have numbers over towards that B bomb site. It's only now that tabseN's starting to get back towards B. recognizing the big hole. That's a good frag from CSGO. It just stabilizes the round for big.
And especially up against what is this mixed bag coming through from fnatic. Big leaving the B side open was a large risk. Maybe it's something to do with the homework they've done going into Inferno, and it's a blast for smoke, blooming just in time to allow fnatic to cross safely. They're going to land a few bullets there on a Mezzi. The site is in the hands of fnatic. Alex not going to be able to stop this one from happening. tabseN over the top, able to fire for another couple. And there's 7 seconds remaining. The reboost up again. Brolin can't stop the boost from happening. And it's big with a crushing retake. The pistol's not going to be enough to stop it. You could see that the aim was trained from fnatic on all the right positions, but big just starting to fire up here on the CT side.
Oh, they were looking for that boost. They just couldn't stop it. That's a good round from fnatic. They did some damage. They got the bomb plant. But, I don't know, this is starting to see big really overcome their economic woes. They're looking much better. They've had a good run of rounds now. And it was looking good early on for fnatic, but it's about time they take that tactical timeout. They've got to work something out here. They haven't had a lot of success. They've gone 6 unanswered rounds now. So big have really warmed themselves into the game. It thought maybe that fnatic would get a good run of rounds here and continue to pile the hurt onto big. However, they've stabilized themselves now in this mid-half and looking to close out strongly.
Can I just say, tabseN's got a wholesome smile. Man was so happy about that one. And the way that they played it as well, just not overextending. After getting those 2 picks, you don't see him go forward. He's happy to play the numbers advantage, fall back with the boys, and just go for the reboost again. But that's going to be 6 in a row now for big, right? As fnatic haven't found a round in a while. It's gotten close, but no cigar. Now, what are we going to see change here? Smooya, he's got that AWP in play again. He's looking to find an opening here at mid. The big not going to be giving him a thing.
You're going to need to see consistency out of Smooya. I mean, it's hard to forge frags on the T side of Inferno with that AWP, so
yeah,
he's got his work cut out for him. And it's all about big. Are they going to give him the opportunities to take those picks, right? Like, you've got to remember, it's on big to try and...
nades.
That's actually crushing. Wow, Brolin has taken so much damage.
And that was all CSGO. He had a couple of nades drop for him on the corner, and there it is, third one coming through. tabseN picking up that round just with util. Smooya as well. He was at T-stairs when he got dunked down to 51 HP. Ridiculous util usage coming through from big here.
It's ironic too, because yesterday it was fnatic dunking on ends with these grenades on Inferno.
Yeah.
And Flames was essentially copying the same level of treatment. He wasn't able to see anybody. He had the worst T side because he was just getting destroyed by the utility usage in Banana. So fnatic getting a taste of their own medicine here from big. And it really does make them squishy heading on into these bomb sites.
Well, up they come straight through bracket. KRIMZ not going to be able to find the timing again. Not on the 2 at least. And Smooya going to track down the 2 remaining big players here on A. It's going to be a pit and Valk set up, it looks like. It's a double pit. We'll see in a moment as the wrap does come through. But yeah, double pit set up. It's a strong one to deal with. This wrap coming through from fnatic. Gade head down and looking to strike. But when's the timing going to come through? It's the wall bang onto Keto, which is ridiculous.
Oh, no.
Bombs on the ground, and there's no time now for fnatic to win the round. tabseN and CSGO just need to survive. Mezzi, bit of a rough situation for him to be in. He will have the souvenir of the AWP into the next, but it's another round for big, and fnatic just leaving these attacks a little bit late.
You can tell Brolin's just not happy about that. Yep. What can you do?
Yeah.
You get dunked on a few times in the round, so that's not going to be how he wants to be taken out of this game. Certainly wants the firefights. He's up for it. He's that player that does like to take those aim duels. Here we go. Smooya. Oh, not quick enough.
And there it is. A cracking start to the round again. It's going to be action on both extremities. Keto straight down mid as well. And fnatic going to be completely suffocated out of the round. Bomb at T-stairs. KRIMZ in the 1-on-4. Back to a 1-on-3. And he's taking a couple of hits now.
Okay.
But definitely a winnable position, no matter the percentage.
So, I wonder if that TK grenade's going to help them out, fnatic. That was an interesting turn of affairs. but he does not have control of the bomb. So KRIMZ is a mastermind in these situations. However, this one is quite difficult. He has to try and dismantle now the two CT players that are just bunkered down on T-Ramp. It's just, I don't know, as good as KRIMZ is, this is a difficult one. He's just got to try and work out the positioning. He knows that it's likely these players were either playing Arch or B. Has no information, though, as to where they could be. And this is well grouped here for tiziaN and gade. He has spotted one, so he's got an idea.
Well, what Big are doing, they're working together. They cleared out Banana, and now with 30 seconds on the clock, there's still another molly to slow this push down from KRIMZ, and that's definitely going to thin out the time that he has to win the round. But now knowing that both CTs are probably in this position, you might just have to go for the kill, but if you can snatch this away in time, maybe there's an opportunity. 13. It's the kills he's going after, and tiziaN's looking the wrong direction. Is the trade there? gade swings out in time to save the round for Big, but again, KRIMZ, he's really putting the financial pressure onto Big.
That is another round here for Big where, again, they take the round win, but they're just not having the ability to save these weapons into these rounds. So, yes, they're winning the rounds, but they are very expensive. However, if I was you, I'd definitely still be taking the round win over saving your weaponry. So, do the thinking chamber for fnatic. What are they going to do in this situation? They really have struggled, haven't they? It's been quite some time since they found some success.
Yeah, I'm just having a quick look at the stats as well. Both these teams have a stronger T side than their CT side. So fnatic off to a strong start at the start of the game, but just like that, 8 rounds stacked on by Big. And going into that second half, fnatic could actually be in trouble. Yeah,
I mean, you look at that, right? Like, essentially, they were able to take the first 4 rounds, fnatic, and it's just been that bomb plant since. That's all they've had. Yes, they have been able to get into the bomb sites, but it's been a real mixed bag for them. There's been 2 rounds there where they've just gone after timer. That's a good opening early exchange of utility, though, in favor of Big. Okay, the Tech 9s starting to do some work. fnatic really do have these strong opening sequences in the round, but funnily enough, I thought their mid-round strength would have been certainly more noticeable. It's not coming to light against Big. They are just that much better.
Well, they will have this B site open for the taking, but it'll trickle down to the timing. And fnatic, just as we saw at the start, they're looking to stay grouped, especially with these pistols. Look for the strength in numbers. And Big, happy to play their own game, which is a slow game. A little bit of contact in through behind the molly. She's going to be thrown to try to separate the T's, but it's the spam from tabseN through the smoke to find 2. And the round just gets so much harder from fnatic from here, especially with that tabseN. Oh, the smoke criminal just spamming through. Mezzi's got a rifle in hand, and he's looking for more than 1. He finds 2.
Okay.
And we could be on for the upset if Mezzi can wrangle his way back in. Bomb, of course, going to be in the CT's eyes, straight out in the open. Mezzi, they've heard him jumping into Barbie. But with 15 seconds, Big, they just have to stop this bomb from going down. And Mezzi has no idea. It's a knife coming through. But is that the travesty? CSGO biting off more than he can chew. A tap again. And Mezzi, almost makes it happen. That's 2 almost clutches for fnatic. But it doesn't work out. And Big, the economy, it is in the bin. But they've got a 9th round on the CT side, and that's huge for them.
Yeah. These guys in Big, they are both managing to win it and bin it at the same time. Oh, man, it is just hurt for Big right now. They've just had 8 unanswered rounds on the trot. And, well, if you're fnatic, right, you're just starting to feel the pressure, starting to feel the pain of not having that success. This is a chance for them to finish the half strongly, though, so they need this round. They need it not only for the round count. She said it's a stronger half. However, they need it for the momentum. Here we go, KRIMZ. That's a massive entry. They will take control of this A bomb site, and they're going to explode.
Oh, tiziaN needs to try to pick up the pieces, but it's KRIMZ putting fnatic on his back for the final round of the half. The silent boost setting up those first 2, and then it was all him just closing the distance early. Smoke at library to try to isolate some more fights. A man's on for the ace. He's had enough here in the first half, and he's looking to put on a performance to close things out. It's got too close too many times for fnatic, but a 1-on-5 is too much of an ask for gade here.
I mean, that's all it took, right? An ace from KRIMZ to finish the round.
Huge.
And that is a 9-6 scoreline going the way of Big. Some big questions remain unanswered, though, for Fnatic's T side. We'll see how this concludes after the break.
Half to go. And it's only map 1, Jim.
It could have been a real knife's edge if you're CSGO in that 1 versus 2. But you're right. This is high-octane Counter-Strike from both of these two teams. And it will continue here into the second half as they do have Fnatic now on that CT side. Man, this is Fnatic at their finest. Oh, KRIMZ is straight down mid.
Just holding that W button, the aggression, it's huge, but expected. Big going to be able to wrangle their way out of T stairs for the moment. Smooya long range, unable to connect too much. Gets knocked down to 2 HP, and Alex, they don't know he's here at second. So you can see Big just taking a moment or two to move their way into B, but it's going to be a hard round for Fnatic to find their way back into.
Oh man, Smooya's got to find 4 kills through the smoke here, I reckon, to win this round for Fnatic. That's the level of ridiculousness it's going to take, but man, their aggression was just put to the sword.
What the Fnatic got for us? Smoke fading here at Con, but Big happy to whittle down the time. Alex, it's a 1-for-1 on him with 2 HP. Smooya, he's thinking about just saving the armor, but he's not going to be enabled to make his way to safety in CT, and it's a solid round to kick things off in the second half. Big taking their T-pistol as well. Let's see how they get off here in the second half. Fnatic, are we going to see that force buy come through, or are they looking to buy up into the third? There it is. Guns purchased. Decent amount of util. Let's see what Smooya can do with that scout.
It's going to need to have some impact, right? He's having an incredibly quiet half. I mean, that being said, though, KRIMZ well and truly has all Fnatic in his backpack, and he's going to need a bigger backpack, I reckon, because there's a few members of Fnatic that have just fallen out.
Yeah.
Big though, going to utilize as much of the utility as possible. These SMGs are just going to be on point as Tizian forces Alex into an awkward backward somersault.
Flash onto the line. Big. This banana control. Innocent Searson in for a bit of reconnaissance. Mac 10's both going to be heard there spamming, so Fnatic probably aren't going to flash back into the top of banana any moment soon. They don't even have a flash to do it, so it's not going to happen. KRIMZ is taking contact at bracket, and now we'll see how they react on the A side. Looks like it could just be the turtle. KRIMZ is going to be isolated. Okay. Smooya able to connect onto one with the scout, not be able to hit the flick on the second, and that should be the round from here. Big just taking the A site with open arms, and Fnatic unfortunately couldn't rotate Brolin across in time, so they're just looking to save their armor into the next, give themselves a fighting chance, and maybe get something going. But that being said, it's 11 already on the board for Big, who are with a 5-round lead, Jim. And that's a great way to start this second half.
Absolutely. If you're Big right now, you're looking like you are in the prime position, the box seat, to be able to take your opponent's map pick. And good round from Big. Fortunately for Smooya, he only got that 1 frag on entry to the A-bomb site. You don't want to be stuck defending an A-bomb site hit with a scout. It's probably one of my, top 10 worst places to be.
Yeah.
But Fnatic really don't seem to have too many answers. You're going to be able to save some utility and armor over on both Messi and Brolin, but Brolin hasn't really awoken today to the level that we saw him yesterday. He really did have a good time on that AUG. particularly on that CT side. He was quite impactful. I mean, those scope weapons in the AUG and the SIG, they really do work well for him. But he hasn't had the chance to get those in his hands at all. So, obviously, it's going to take some work here from fnatic to get as many gun rounds as possible. However, Big are just going to keep on charging towards this match point. And again, just utilising these MAC-10s, setting them up with some utility, using them as information, clearing out those spaces, and just allowing the rest of Big to get in behind and work with the firepower that they've got.
Well, Big just running back the strat there at Banana. It's wasted the one smoke fnatic had to play with. As this is all happening, it's just Alex here over towards A. And a well-read round again from Big, who have found the A side essentially for free. fnatic, though, they're going to be buying up into the next round regardless, so they're looking to get some exits, get some damage on the board, but Keto, happily with the AK, going to be picking off these eco frags, and Smooth, you're going to be stuck here in the tunnel. Just looking to crawl his way back to safety, back to anywhere. See if he can find a hole in this post plant to maybe get his way in. A Bink might do it. There it is. CSGO down. However, that's just one of the MAC-10s, so the man he's looking for is definitely Keto with the AK. But even then, it's a big ask because Keto is really firing up here in the second half. 12 secured now for Big. Just 4 away from taking fnatic's map pick.
In the end, he falls to Tizian's MAC-10, so... Well, there was nothing on offer. Big, they just sent the SMGs to try and hunt for the last remaining player. That's, they got that kill anyway, but man, Big really aren't looking threatened. However, they're about to face their first big test on this T side. fnatic bringing out those M4s, all silenced. No surprise with Smooya on that AWP, but he's going to need to find some picks because he really has been so quiet early on.
Oh, yeah.
Not having the level of impact that we're expecting from him. Not the level of impact that fnatic requires for success.
Mezzy offline almost works out. The crosshair was good, however, moving. Inaccuracy is a factor, and Brolin just trying to get underneath the T's, pushing over him. It's going to be a 2-for-1 trade on the entries, and the B site is now secured, but for how long for Big? Tizian, only 22 HP to play with.
Okay. Utility now from fnatic is going to be key. How are they going to utilize that? Molotov is just going to lock the 2 players into construction. So, Alex, it's a long way forward. Tizian just playing on the coffins. What's he going to do? Oh, the flash is good, though. So, Big do have some utility up their sleeve, and they've made it work so far. However, now it's just onto the firefights. As Smooya, he's not going to have an impact on this round. Gade's swinging with that Galil. Man, he is having a day.
Yeah.
And fnatic, once again, find themselves having to just go back to the drawing board economically.
Expecting that push in from CT as well, just to transfer across in time after taking that fight. Oh, it was so awkward. You could see Smooya was within an inch of going for that peak on the top of Dark. As well as, I think it was Alex, just trying to figure out what he wanted to do. He pulled out util as the flash comes through to set Tizian up. Man had 22 HP, a spam onto him through that coffin, and we'd be in a whole different situation. fnatic would have definitely won that round, but that's a theoretical. And it's Big to take it. So they're now just 3 rounds away from the dub. Tizian has this MAC-10 to play with, knowing they're up against a couple of pistols, so he's looking to farm up a Storm, and he might just find that Deagle at close range these days. Not too fancy. I'm definitely not fancying Smooya's chances with 3 Ts just around the corner. It's going to take a huge couple of headshots, and none are found. There it is, Tizian now. Just close to the distance. KRIMZ has that the CZ to play with, rather. He's going to be able to find 1, but again, the numbers already dumpstered for fnatic. It's just Mezzy with the Deagle, and, well, that's a big dream. 4 players to get past.
Yeah. Got to dream big, though. However, Big are playing so much better here on Inferno. fnatic, they really haven't had any reply whatsoever. They've just been bullied around this map. When it comes to the firefights too, they really haven't had any success. So, not surprising to see fnatic utilize their final tactical timeout of this map.
Yeah.
And it's going to be to try and just craft themselves some CT rounds. It's not over for them. They've still got 2 rounds to play with before this series. Series goes to the second map. But I don't know, Mac. They really haven't had any answers to what Big are doing. Big are just clinical. They're taking territory early.
Arguably, I've seen a lot of these rounds come down to timing. You know, milliseconds in it for at least 3 of them that I can remember, and then those would have changed the financial situation. So Big are really just scraping through. No matter, even though the scoreline looks like it's, what's that, like 8 rounds the difference now? It's not. It's definitely not that. It has been so close of a game. And unfortunately for fnatic, it just doesn't look like that on the scoreboard.
They've just taken up so much time in a lot of these rounds on the T side that really put them on the back foot. But this is just fast coming out from Big. Look at this.
All the way up Dig in a matter of seconds, Jim.
On the back of a CT tactical timeout, right? Like, that is the most frustrating thing to deal with. You're trying to set yourself up on the CT side. Trying to, you know, work yourself back into this. You go, okay, what are we going to do? It's going to be slow, tactical, methodical. Big, change your tempo. Catch them off guard.
So, you know what? You guys have a plan. Well, throw that plan in the damn bin. Smooya knows someone's creeping up close, but is he expecting the swing from Gade? He will. He'll fight for his life. And he'll be able to hold on to the AWP for the moment. Does some damage to Big's economy, but that's not really an issue right now. You got Gade there with 10k in the bank. The biggest issue is that Big are currently on 15 rounds on the board, and fnatic, they have to win 9 in a row to make it to overtime. That's a huge ask. They got 3 rifles maybe here to play with. It's going to be Smooya from behind, hiding in oranges.
Yeah, feels like only time Smooya has had, you know, a 3k round, unfortunately, has been on the back of a save. So he really hasn't had too much impact the way they would have liked. Certainly not on that T side. As we said, it's hard to fashion rounds on the T side of Inferno, particularly when you're locked out a lot of these firefights. And fnatic just run into so many problems. The right timing hasn't worked out in their favour. Now, this is looking more positive from them. They take some control. And they do find 2 opens here. However, Smooya forced off the line once again.
Big. They're just looking to make this wrap happen. Alex regressing at Dig in time. It's going to be the bomb down at Bracket as Smooya takes a risky maneuver in through the smoke. Gade going to be falling as well. And just like that, fnatic find the answer. Holding things down on the A site like a fort. And it's 7 on the board. That's 1 of the 9 rounds needed. 8 more, Jim. You know, you keeping tally?
Oh, quick math. Here in Australia, we are born with 10 fingers, 10 toes, normally. Unless you're from Tasmania. Might have a few extra.
Oh, wow.
But
unfortunate
we can count to at least 20. That being said, though, it's the first round fnatic have found in quite some time. It's been a long time between drinks for them.
Yeah.
And the Big, there again, just going to battle for this control in banana. tabseN found the timing. Busy.
Does look messy, however. But it's Roland just blocking that util, hoping to survive. Man's going into the smoke, but if he held that trigger for a second longer, maybe he could have survived. He just couldn't get into position. And Big, they've found the B site. They've got Gade on the lurk, who may eventually have some impact. But Smooya and KRIMZ know that their tournament lives could be on the line if they lose Inferno here. A 2-on-5. KRIMZ has been doing pretty good on his solo attempts. Smooya looking to go in solo. There's 2 found, and just like that, the round could have been sent back in their direction. KRIMZ expecting to flank Tizzy and Leg. There's a chance here, but it's down to KRIMZ, and he's only got 15 seconds to get to site and start to defuse. Man's got to go now, and it's a solid crossfire. Tizzy in over in the corner, and Big take fnatic's map pick. It's Inferno in the bag. Map 1 of the series going to Big.